I'll call the meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. I will read the first item.
That the agenda for the regular meeting of July 8th, 2024 be amended to include the following. In closed session, the security of the property of the municipality, Municipal Act, Section 239(2)(a), concerning physician recruitment, and personal matters about an identifiable individual, Municipal Act, Section 239(2)(b), concerning physician recruitment.
You had a mover, please. Councilor Five and Councilor Brambach, second. All in favor? Carried. Next item.
That the agenda for the regular meeting of July 8th, 2024 be approved as amended.
Can I get another mover? Councilor Shawbaugh and Councilor Jiguer. All in favor? Carried. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest or general nature thereof? I see none. Adoption of the minutes. What do you?
That the following minutes are hereby adopted. Regular meeting, June 24th, 2024, 6:30 p.m.
Can I get a mover and a second? Councilor Shawbaugh, Councilor Five. Is there any comments or questions on the minutes? All in favor? Carried. Second, please.
Department reports. That the following reports are received as information: administration, economic development, finance, fire department, planning, zoning, bylaw, public works, and recreation.
Can I get a mover and a seconder? Councilor Brambach and Councilor Shawbaugh. Is there any comments or questions from councilors? Councilor Shawbaugh.
I have a few, your worship, thank you. First one will be directed to the finance team. In the report on the regulatory filings, 2022 financial statement will be posted on the town's website and made available. I'd like to know when that will happen. I looked and I couldn't locate it yet. And I know that we spoke about this last meeting. The town will ask municipal affairs for an extension to file the 2023 audit. Did we get that extension?
Okay. From the Treasury Department?
As of now, the 2022 financial statement is on the site. It's on the site. My apologies if it hasn't been there at that time. It is now. Regarding 2023, we haven't officially requested the extension. We have submitted a mail to KPMG. We are hoping we will be in contact with them in this week or the coming week. We have our data ready for 2023, and then we wait for them to request additional sampling data, and then any additional report they make.
Thank you. Anything else, Councilor Shawbaugh?
From the fire department for the chief. Your worship, looking at their responses to calls, 3 false and nuisance alarms. I know that we've passed that such nuisance and false alarms would be fined or feed moving forward. I'm just curious to know if any of these were.
No, because it didn't fall in the criteria of B or all the time. But they are under warnings.
Got it. Thank you. The other question for the chief would be to give us the elevator sales pitch as to what a mobile live fire training unit is.
That's the unit that we had in town last year from the OFM, the Ontario Fire Marshal's Office. It was brought to Cochrane this year. They did ask us if we wanted to send a few people, but because of our call crews, nobody went to it, but we are trying to get it back here next year. The province is supposed to put 1 to 2 more on the road for next year, which currently 2 for the whole province. Supposed to put at least another one, possibly 2 more on the road for next year. They want to, their goal is to eventually hit every fire department every year. And it's a free.
Thank you. That's it, Your Worship. Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions for staff? We're good? Good. All in favor, to go ahead? Carried. Move on to the next item, please.
Information reports, electronic funds transfer policy. As the following reports are received as information, electronic funds transfer policy.
And a mover and a second. Councilor Lafai and Councilor Brambach. Any discussion?
Just one question for finance, on page 3 at the top, it says the procedure to initiate a repetitive ACH. And there's no definition of what ACH means, so.
My apologies.
It's all right.
Automated clearing houses, it should be in there. I can reference it.
Okay. We're good. Okay, anyone else? So all in favor? Carried. On to the parking bylaw, please.
That council adopt the revised parking bylaw through the execution of a bylaw.
You gotta move in a second, please. Councilor Lafai, Councilor Shalvo. Any discussion, questions or comments?
It's nice to see that we're actually gonna start making some money on bylaw.
Yeah.
And I think people need to be forewarned about this. I don't know when is it that we're going to actually notify the
When?
public that and that these fines will actually be instituted, because they're pretty heavy duty. People need to know that if you go and park in a disabled parking spot, it's now $300 from 10, so.
And the fire hydrants. and
Yeah,
stuff, too.
it's significant increase, so people need to
We
be
should
aware of
put
that.
that
We're gonna
on.
advertise that.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Councillor Jiguer had.
Yeah, okay, well, then you finish, Councilor Lafai, then we'll go to Councilor.
Yeah, I'm just curious how soon that the information is gonna get out there.
Okay, we'll work on that, I guess.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think, yeah, the goal is to let's get it passed, and then we can work on it.
Well, that's, it still has to go in front of a judge for approval of those fines as well, right? That's the other thing.
This process, right?
Okay.
So it's procedural
It'll
at
be a
this
while.
point, once council approves it, and then we
We'll
can,
notify the
we
public.
look forward to doing the education piece.
Okay, Councilor Jiguer?
Yeah, thank you, your worship. Just a quick question on, I think it's a step in the right direction. I guess my only slight concern with the bylaw and how broad it is for everywhere in the community is I look at our rec facility as an example. With the junior A team that came back to town and with there being more functions at the arena in the winter months, the one thing that's been implemented there in the last year is usually a liquor license, where the junior games there's being alcohol served and whatnot. And as much as I understand, and we should always try to have our rides and whatnot planned ahead of time. Sometimes things just happen, and we could be seeing 1 or 2 individuals where they weren't going to have a beverage or 2 at a social event, and then they decided to at the arena. And the last thing I would hate to see is with a bylaw the way it's written now, that someone make the decision to take their vehicle home after having those couple of beverages to try to avoid a $300 fine.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Councilor Lafai first.
I believe parking on a city street or a town street is $65. That's not 300, but still. I think he makes a good point. I just don't know how that we could be changing things.
So go to Joel, please.
Right, so that's something that we accounted for, especially on that section of synagogue between Cambridge and Cambridge. So if you look on page, I don't have the page number here, but in Schedule D towards the bottom, it states Synagogue Avenue between the intersection of Cambridge Avenue and Ambridge Avenue, unless allowed for special events as directed by the CAO or designate. during these special events, no parking signs shall be covered. So we have the ability to allow parking there, you know, as these events come up and get approved.
So say somebody starts drinking at a hockey game, will they be fined if they're parked?
No, so if, like, if,
Let me
if,
clear
if,
that.
you know, I think it's come to council before, we've done a little bit of different things in different scenarios, but now we have the ability to just say at all the hockey games, we
Yeah,
can just designate it as parking is allowed. You know, we don't have to come to council to approve that. This bylaw allows staff to bag the signs and then parking's allowed. And plus, like, I mean, we do employ the officer, right?
Okay.
So the communication.
First we'll go to Councilor Jiguer, then Councilor Brambach. Councilor Jiguer?
Thank you for that clarification, and I'm good moving forward.
Okay, Councilor Brambach?
So I would like to add, it goes for the civic sense, like if you compare with other cities and let's say bigger cities like Toronto and their downtown and their bars and establishments like that, people are aware that if they drink, they're gonna take taxi.
Yeah.
So it goes same everywhere across the board that if they are parking there, they're gonna be getting the ticket regardless if they make a decision to pay.
Any other comments, Councilor?
I'm kind of on the same page as Councilor Brambach. I know we don't have a lot of drinking establishments left in town anymore, but let's say one of the ones on Main Street just happens to be serving beer late in the evening and they leave it parked on Main Street. Are we gonna give that guy a break too because he had a few drinks? I'm just, you know, I don't know. I just don't know where to draw the line on something. Although I mean, why should the arena get special consideration versus anybody else around town?
Anybody else? Okay, go ahead.
So just a comment on that, the reason we put this allowance in the bylaw is because we had a resolution from council to approve parking along that section of roadway during the winter months, during the hockey season per se. So that's why you're seeing it now in the bylaw and not anywhere else.
Okay, go ahead.
That all stemmed to Joel's point, that all stemmed from a conversation when the team was first coming back and how we can support to build the team, especially in year one, but also combative with other special events like the carnival, when parking is at a premium, you know, when space is difficult. So that was the premise of that conversation. The catalyst and the infancy wasn't so much around, you know, self-responsibility towards, you know, drinking and driving. It was more around how can we accommodate what's already a congested parking lot and sometimes to make sure that we take care of our residents, you know, for special events like the carnival.
The council a little time. You guys
So
are
we
doing
need to be
that
some
decision.
ambiguity in that sense to make sure we can still support our community.
It's good to have that flexibility, I think.
Good. Any other comments or questions? All in favor? Carried. Move to the next item, please.
This is the Just Jordan Arena concession agreement. That the concession services at the Just Jordan Arena be awarded to Mr. Peter Thiring of All Canadian Hockey Schools under the terms and conditions outlined in the agreement attached to this report, and that mayor and clerk be authorized to execute the agreement document.
Mover and a seconder, please. Councilor Five. Councilor Shalaba. If there's any comments or questions before we vote? All in favor? Carried. We'll go on the next one, please.
The Mixed Healthcare Foundation donation request. That council approves an in-kind donation towards the Mixed Healthcare Foundation baseball tournament in the amount of $386.
Can I get a mover and a seconder? Councilor Brambach. Councilor Five. Any comments or questions from council? All in favor? Carried.
It's the parking bylaw. That bylaw number 379624, being a bylaw to regulate the parking of vehicles in the town of Iroquois Falls, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed this 8th day of July, 2024.
You got a mover and a second? Council Shalabo and Council Five. Any comments or questions again? All in favor? Carried. Second, please.
That bylaw number 379724, being a bylaw to authorize the execution of an agreement between the town of Iroquois Falls and Peter Thiering of All Canadian Hockey Schools for the operation of the concession services in the Just Jordan Arena, be read a first, second, and third time, and finally passed this 8th day of July, 2024.
Okay, a mover and a second, please. Council Shalabo. Council Rambat. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Carried. Next. item, please.
For correspondence, that the following is received as correspondence. Cochrane District Local Citizens Committee, meeting minutes, February 8th, 2024. Cochrane District Local Citizens Committee, meeting minutes, April 10th, 2024. Iroquois Falls Arts Council, meeting minutes, May 15th, 2024.
We had a mover and a seconder, Councilor Fly. Councilor Shalabo. Okay, we do have, can you read out number 3? Is that possible? Oh,
Can I ask a question about, about the local citizens
okay,
committee?
sure.
Just, I see that there's, March minutes are missing here. There's only February and April, so I'm just curious as to why March isn't included. Maybe, Councilor Jiguer could pass the word on to the LCC people to find out why that is. Just-
Or was there a meeting? Okay, Councilor Jiguer.
Thank you, your worship. Councilor Fave. I went back and had a quick look because I figured it would be a question this evening. I believe March, we did not have quorum, but I did send an email out today just for clarification. And as soon as I get correspondence, I'll send it to the group.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Item number 3, can you read that, please?
Don't worry, would you like the 11B, the separate item?
Yeah, if anybody has any comments or questions, you don't have to read it. but
Okay,
Is there any questions on item number 2?
Are you talking about the Arts Council one, or you're talking about the minutes of the cuts? You're talking about B, right? 11B?
we're on page 10.
Yeah, okay, no, I just want to know if you can read
Okay,
the correspondence, yeah, for that, sorry.
so this one, there's a resolution.
Yeah.
It's that the following is received as correspondence. The Iroquois Falls Arts Council, the installation of Boreal Grove mural. I'll read the letter that was. I know. So this letter is addressed to mayor and council. The Iroquois Falls Arts Council is presently working on a mural for the town of Iroquois Falls, thanks to the $10,000 grant from the Ontario Arts Council. The colorful mural is titled Boreal Grove and features edible wild plants that can be foraged in our area. The mural measures 4 feet wide and is 16 feet high. It is nearing completion. It will be installed on the outside wall of the Lions Den building at 239 Church Street in Iroquois Falls. The Lions Club is very excited to have this piece of outdoor art installed on their building, knowing that it will greatly improve the look of the building. A letter from the Lions Club president, Gerald Suki, describes their support for this project. The Iroquois Falls Arts Council is requesting help from the town for the installation of the mural on an outside wall of the Lions Den building. The installation will require the use of the town's aerial work platform, as well as 2 certified operators for the installation. The mural project fits in well with the town's community improvement plan, as it will add much to the attractiveness of the building and the vibrancy of the area, which is near a school and a post office. The Iroquois Falls Arts Council has budgeted for the cost of the installation hardware. We would require assistance at the site for the unveiling of the mural shortly after the installation. Mayor and council, our provincial MPP, and a representative from the Arts Council, as well as members from the general public, will be invited to attend the unveiling of this new piece of outdoor art that will beautify this high visibility area for years to come. This AWP equipment will play a crucial role in the installation of the mural. It would streamline the installation process, enabling the Arts Council to meet project deadlines effectively. The Arts Council is a registered charity whose mandate is to promote the arts in this community and to advance the public's appreciation of the arts. The Arts Council would be grateful for council's continued support by granting permission for the use of this specialized equipment for the installation of this community mural. We look forward to your response to our request at your earliest convenience. This is from Francis Ann Cote.
You're gonna move it in a seconder. Councilor Fine, Councilor Brambach, and I believe staff has some comments.
Yeah, I think obviously when we review this correspondence, absolutely incredible initiative. And this is an organization we do support and want to continue to support. I think our only concern comes down to potential liabilities and risk management with, operating a boom with town staff on another building or another project that isn't town, part of the town, a town initiative as a whole. We're just wondering if there's a potential opportunity to support them, through another channel. Maybe they can get a quote to see what it would cost to get this installed from, say, a John Neon Signs or a company out that does this work, for example, that has a lift, where they can look into renting a lift, or they can look at a sponsorship, and then maybe we can support through an in-kind type thing, or facilitating that opportunity through our municipal grant program. Is that an opportunity?
And I believe they can even use our lift maybe, if that's an issue, right? Was that an option? We mentioned that earlier to me, but.
Yeah, I mean, I would defer back to risk management, health and safety there. There's serious certifications that need to be involved that we require our staff to have. I can certainly ask our directors to speak more on that if they wish. But that is certainly something that we need to ensure the health and safety and the risk management side is compliant as well. So that's our concern there.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So bring it back to council, comments or question?
No, I think as liaison to the Arts Council, I was there when they had the discussion about this. I didn't think it was such a bad idea, but having discussed this with staff as well today, I think the points are well taken about the liability issue. So maybe the Arts Council should be looking at other opportunities, and if we can lend them the equipment, all the better. Obviously, that would cut down on costs. So that's something that they should talk about, or at least research on their own, and then we can maybe have that discussion.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we need to go. Do they have to come back to council again?
We'll probably bring the recommendation, how much the cost is, and
We're gonna
then we
meet-
can look at
We're
that.
gonna meet in a couple of weeks anyway, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully by then they'll be able to have a chance. So I'll give Ms. Cote a call and
Explain.
tell her what we're thinking.
Okay.
But I see that on the reverse side of that letter, there's also the supporting documentation from the Lions Club, so
Yeah.
we're clear there. The Lions Club is okay with it, right?
I just think it's important to reiterate how good this is.
Oh, yeah, that's
Great,
fantastic.
it's a good opportunity for us. It's really simple. It's health and safety, it's liability, it's compliance, it's certification, it's all of those things.
Yeah.
And that's why we don't typically do those things. It's certainly not on a merit or what it means to the community by any means. And then, you look at this correspondence, and again, it's very healthy. I think ultimately, it's great that they received a grant for $10,000. I'd be curious as well, what does that entail? Is there an opportunity throughout that fund potentially to look at how they can subsidize the install? I'm not sure. Did they look at trying to get it sponsored and then get it covered? Is what has been, strategized around for opportunities?
Can I make a recommendation, instead of defeating it, just because we don't know what's gonna come back, can we defer this decision? Because if we defeat it can't come back, right? So can we I'd like to make a motion to defer it?
And if I may, Mayor Delory, right now it's just to receive as correspondence.
Okay, so we're good, okay,
Yes.
okay, so we'll vote in favor of correspondence then, okay, so all in favor of correspondence? Okay, carried, thank you. We'll move on to the next one. Oh,
Closed session.
yeah,
So that council goes into closed session at 6:54 PM to discuss the following. Personal matters about an identifiable individual, Municipal Act, Section 239 concerning physician recruitment, and the security of the property of the municipality, Municipal Act, Section 239 concerning physician recruitment.
Can I get a mover? Councilor LaFave and Councilor Shellbaugh. All in favor? Carried. We'll start. Go ahead.
Council arises from closed session at 7:36 PM with the following report. Council adopted closed session minutes. And council provided staff with direction regarding physician recruitment.
Can I get a mover and seconder? Councilor LaFave, Councilor Brandbat. Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. So we'll adjourn at 7:37, so I get a mover that we adjourn. Councilor LaFave and Councilor Jiguer.
Moved by Councilor LaFave, seconded by Councilor Jiguer, that the meeting adjourns at 7:37 PM.
All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Good night, everyone.